You are live.
We're
Yeah,
live.
live from Sacramento. It's Saturday morning.
Yeah, exactly. We beat them.
Yep. Yep. Beat Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
Those fuckers in New York.
Yeah, we beat them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nice
No, yeah.
overrated.
Saturday morning, October 1st. It's officially spooky season. So we're gonna do horror movies. We had said all throughout October.
Oh yeah.
So today's day one.
October
movie
1st.
one. Yep. So it was my pick this time around, and I picked a movie near and dear to me. I chose The Mist by Frank Darabont. It's an adaptation of a Stephen King novella from like the 70s, 80s. The movie was made in 2007 though, so it took a little while, but I guess Frank Darabont had it in mind for a long time. He'd been thinking about it. Stars Thomas Jane. It's got Marcia Gay Harden, Andre Braugher. Yeah, it's good. It's I like what this magazine here says. It kind of encapsulates it. It's like people are trapped in a supermarket. Shit happens. Obviously there's the threat of the mist from the outside, but the movie does become a lot more about human nature at certain parts than it does about this exterior threat of the mist. But yeah, it's a good one. It's got a fantastic ending, like really, well-renowned ending, good acting. It's very like it's an ensemble piece, it's almost like a play. They're trapped inside the store. It's kind of one setting.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of scenes where it's just like a one shot of somebody and then, back to you talking back and forth. It's everybody all together. Yeah, no, I really like The Mist. I wanted to pick a movie because we're going to be doing some zombie movies, some creature features, things like that. And this is kind of that, but I also thought it goes to the horror of human nature, but also that kind of Lovecraftian, these giant alien creatures that you just have basically no chance against. So yeah, The Mist.
This episode is brought to you by the word expiation, the act of making amends or reparation for guilt or wrongdoing. Atonement,
Jesus
if you will.
Christ, that's hilarious.
Yeah, they get real Old Testament in this movie. They do. So I have seen this movie a couple times before. Carlos, Ian, you said you'd seen it before.
Oh
yeah.
This was your first time watching it?
Yeah, first time.
Oh, nice. Well, what'd you think of it, Kristian?
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I like the idea of a horror movie in a grocery store, like grocery store.
Yeah, I worked in the grocery store for 5 years. It can be like that sometimes, even without the mist.
I remember when COVID happened. Yeah, grocery stores were pretty wacky.
I noticed the grocery store name this time. It was the Food House.
Yeah,
I like that.
Just
funny,
the Food House.
Funny name. Isn't the pharmacy King's Pharmacy or something?
Yeah,
the
pharmacy
yeah.
next door.
Like Stephen King.
Mm-hmm. A little homage there.
Right.
Nice. Yeah. I felt like if that were to actually happen in real life, that would be it felt like a realistic situation as like a real scenario. Like if that really went down in a grocery store, especially in our country, it would probably be a lot like that.
Yeah.
Just chaos and utter people. Like I don't know about like maybe like the chick with the like who can like not get bit by the bugs or whatever.
The religious one,
Mrs. Carmody.
Yeah.
Expiation.
Yeah, none of the supernatural. Not is that supernatural or is that
like religious? Fundamentalist.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Aside from that, it felt pretty real.
Yeah,
like and the obviously the bugs.
I was thinking the whole time of COVID. There was a lot of COVID deniers, and his neighbor, what's his name? Brent Norton. He's like, I don't believe you guys. I don't believe there's tentacles out there. Let's just get out of here. Let's go. And he gets a whole gang together, and they all probably perish in the mist.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the whole time, our main character, David Drayton, he's like, don't go out there. Stop it. There's something dangerous. I've seen it. I battled it. I got it right in the back over here.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I don't believe you.
Yeah, straight up.
Kind of what we saw in the pandemic a little bit.
Yeah, it's the same idea.
Yeah.
Reminds me a little of The Thing too. How they're talking about going stir crazy.
Yeah.
And when the Norwegians and one of the guys says, it's only been a week. How's that happen? First goddamn week of winter. And then the cook, he's like, shit, only takes 3 days to turn a man or make a man go crazy under here or something like that. And I think 2 days maybe they're in the supermarket and fucking they're sacrificing people to the gods. And
Speaking of The Thing, did you guys notice David Drayton, our hero? He's a movie poster
Oh,
artist in
yeah.
the
Right.
beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has The Thing poster. One of my other favorite films, Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've seen that.
And it looks like he's working on The Dark Tower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I was confused because it
Clint
looks like
Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. I was like, oh, he's doing like I thought this is just his hobby. I guess we're meant it's implied that like he made the poster for The Thing, even though
Yeah.
that movie
Yeah.
came out in the early '80s. I don't know if that's what they were going for or not.
Maybe
but
he's just a big fan.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Did it in
I
high
don't blame
school.
him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess you're right. That's supposed to be The Dark Tower. I'm not really too familiar with those books
Me neither.
because I was like, oh, he's doing the Man with No Name trilogy. Clint Eastwood, and I guess that's what like the main character in The Dark Tower is kind of like,
Oh, okay.
from what I've been told or read.
Mm.
So yeah, that was pretty. A lot of I think they're looking at a newspaper. It's the Castle Rock Gazette or something.
Oh,
Castle
nice.
Rock is where a lot of Stephen King books take place.
Takes place.
Or
It's
reference.
a production company too.
That too. Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
did Green Mile, I think, and
Isn't that Seinfeld? I think they had a hand in Seinfeld.
oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Is it in Maine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be.
Everything's in
Everything
Maine.
Stephen King
Okay.
always in Maine. This is
Yep.
in Maine. Yeah. Yeah. Frank Darabont. This is like his third one, Stephen King, because Green Mile is a Stephen King, and then Shawshank Redemption is a Stephen King story too.
Yep.
So
Wait, Frank Darabont did those ones?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Those are like really, I think the only things off the top of my head that he directed.
yeah, Walking Dead. There's a big Walking
Mm.
Dead connection. We could probably go over it
Yeah.
later on in the between this and Walking Dead. But yeah. No, I agree with you, Christian. It's sort of they do that whole debate where what's her name, Amanda, in this, the blonde chick, she's like, I don't think people are bad, like people are inherently good, and then Thomas Jane's like, nah, I don't know about that, and then sure enough 6 hours later, they're all gone crazy. It's kind of a depressing way to look at it, but I sort of think the same thing would happen too.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like you said, if COVID showed us anything, it's that people are selfish and scared, and
They really like toilet paper.
yeah, that too.
Sorry.
Good thing they're in the grocery store.
Little
Yeah.
sidetrack. My grandma said she was shopping during that big toilet paper crisis, and she like went over to like grab something, and she turned back, and somebody had snagged the toilet paper from her cart
Oh,
and
wow.
just took off.
Every man
Toilet
for
paper
himself.
thieves. That's ridiculous.
No mercy in the end of the world.
No.
I can't think of the movie, but there's a quote, and he says like, "A person is smart, but people are dumb animals." Like when you get people together and they get all riled up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
they're a greater threat than the mist. Just
Yeah.
about.
crowd
Yeah.
mentality, I suppose.
Yeah, they're really like the main characters in this movie, the main group. They're really stuck between a rock and a hard place. Either they stay in the supermarket and probably get sacrificed eventually, or they go out and try to fight in the mist, which is what they do. Spoilers.
Well,
I noticed that the kid's name in this one is Billy. I don't know if that's a Billy the Kid reference.
Oh, I was thinking it.
Is there a
Oh.
Billy in it?
Big Bill. Yeah,
Big Bill.
Okay.
main kid is Billy. and
Okay.
Billy.
Oh,
Billy.
we also have Starkiller in this movie.
Mm.
yeah, Darth Maul in the flesh.
Yeah.
Darth Star Maul.
What's his name?
Darth Star
Sam
Maul.
Witwer.
Sam Witwer playing Private Jessup in this one.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
the only thing I've seen him in live action.
Right?
I think
Yeah.
the same. I'm not too familiar with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going through his filmography, and it's just a shit ton of Star Wars stuff. He's
Yeah.
definitely a
Mm.
Star Wars fan.
He does the big old Kenobi in the TV show.
Yeah, he does that in it's in Rebels, right? Where he does that? And
I
he's
think
in the
so.
desert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of good actors in this one.
Hmm.
An appearance from Shermanator from American
Yeah,
Pie
we got him right here.
as the bag boy.
Yeah.
William Sadler as the mechanic. He's in Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, I like him. I was saying before, he's the bad guy in Die Hard 2. He's the Grim Reaper in Bill and Ted 2.
Mhm,
I like him
mhm.
a lot. He's a good
Marcia
actor.
Gay Harden's like super famous
Yeah.
actress. To get her for this movie is kind of cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I got more Walking Dead vibes from this than Half-Life, because that's what
Oh, yeah.
that's what I would hear about this movie when I first heard of it. Like, because I was in high school, I was in like English class or math class or something, and I was talking about Half-Life to somebody. And I was like, they should make like a Half-Life movie, and they're like, well, there's The Mist. That's the Half-Life
They
movie.
did.
I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll.
So
watch it.
yeah, we
But I
had
didn't.
talked about this on our stream a little bit, but I did see stuff that said that the game Half-Life, which came out in like 1999 or 2000 or whatever, the first one, that was partly based on The Mist, the novella, like the
That
story.
makes sense.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah, you know,
Huh.
it's the idea like the government is experimenting, trying to contact alien worlds. They go too far, open up a portal by mistake, and then yeah, I mean, in the first Half-Life game, you go to the alien planet, and you know, you could kind of see the connection there. And then I think I'd mentioned there's the crowbar in Half-Life 2 that's like so famous, or it's in
That's
both
in
games.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah,
All-
and then Jim, the mechanic in the pharmacy, he's got a crowbar. I don't know, it's a stretch, but there's definitely some connection there. You could see it like Arrowhead is the base in this. That would be the equivalent of Black Mesa and Half-Life, stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, I could see it, but it's a bit of a stretch, I would say, to say this is a Half-Life movie.
There was some
Yeah.
interesting commentary from Irene, the old woman played by Frances Durhagen.
Mhm.
She said, "There's no funding for the schools. Government is more interested in corporate handouts and building bombs when they're trying to like figure out what
Yeah.
the heck is going on with the military police and why they're not helping."
Right.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of interesting commentary just coming out of a Stephen King film.
Right.
still relevant, has been
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think the mist comes out pretty quick too. I think I clocked it at like 11 minutes is when the mist like starts rolling into the parking lot. So we kind of get started right away. And,
Yeah.
like the fear and the panic starts.
Yeah.
Lock it up, lock it up.
yeah, because that's
Yeah.
when Dale from Walking Dead comes running in with bloody nose. Something in the mist took
Ye-
John Lee.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right away. Everyone's panicked. You just get like the kind of establishing of the storm, which was probably something because of the mist.
Yeah.
And then he, you know, he doesn't get along with his neighbor. He's got a wife and his kid. Go.
That first sequence felt a little. I don't know. Did it feel like it was dubbed at all?
Ooh.
What
Which
scene?
sequence?
The
The storm?
like the very first, not the very first scene, but once once David goes outside,
to assess the damages.
yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know, something about it felt a little like dubbed.
Yeah, they
His
could have
wife-
might have ADR'd it.
Yeah.
Because I noticed it was a windy day, so they might have ADR'd
Yeah.
it just so the
Mm.
audio sounded a little bit
Yeah.
better.
It's possible.
I saw they shot it in like Louisiana.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and even
Did not know
Stephen
that.
King was like, "Did you shoot this in Maine?" Nope.
It's like, well, you're the main expert,
Louisiana.
Steven. You should know if it was shot in Maine or not, sir.
Yeah, you're the main guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Find someone that
You're
loves
the
you
main
like
event.
Stephen King loves
Loves
Maine.
Maine, yeah.
That man
Exactly.
is a hard on for that state.
Yes, he does.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
When the
Gotta find
fog
respect.
first rolls in, everybody's like, "What the heck is going on?" And somebody says, "Maybe it's a chemical explosion from up in the mountains." And then we get that scene where Carol from The Walking Dead. Oh man, what's her name?
Even Melissa McBride.
Melissa McBride. She's like, "I gotta go get my kids."
She's credited as woman with kids at home. That's hilarious.
she never gets a name. Man.
That's hilarious.
She's like, "I gotta go get my kids." So she steps out into this mist that could possibly be a chemical
Yeah, I
mist
thought that was kind of.
killing people.
I'm like, geez.
Hold your breath.
Yeah.
Seems like maybe you should wait, but no. I
Yeah.
mean, she lays it out. Her 8-year-old is watching her kid or whatever. Sometimes
Yeah.
she forgets she's watching him.
I don't know if her character would fly nowadays. She's such a, like, she's like, no man's gonna see a lady home.
Hmm.
It's like
She's
you're
sort of,
not
like,
a
helpless.
yeah, you're not a strong female. You need a man to walk you home.
It's funny because that's her
Yeah.
character arc in Walking Dead. Is in the beginning she's like beaten down by her husband, and then she ends up. Didn't she kill him? I think she kills him, or he
Yeah.
dies, and then she beats the shit out of him, something like that.
I think she turns like
Don't
super
remember that.
badass in the TV show.
She's like,
later
I think
series.
she's one of the only people that's from season 1 to current, wherever they're at now.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's still alive. I don't follow the show anymore, but
They're on like the 5th final part of it or something.
yeah.
Wasn't there like there's other like the what there's like something of The Walking Dead? There's like other spin-off shows and shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
Fear of
yeah,
the Walking
Fear of
Dead.
the Walking
Fear of
Dead.
the
Walking
and
Dead,
then I
never
think there's
watched
something
it.
else too.
It's like God, enough.
Island of the
Jesus.
Walking Dead.
Enough. Yeah.
Sprinting against the Walking Dead.
Yeah. Talking Dead. That was like the
Talk-
show that they would talk about the episode that just happened.
With Chris
Yeah.
Hardwick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, no, that spawned a lot of stuff. And that's Frank Darabont helped co-create that show, and he directed like the first episode or some of the first episodes. And yeah, he used a lot of this cast that's in this in The Walking Dead. I guess we could just go through it now because obviously Melissa McBride, she's Carol in The Walking Dead. One of the army guys, one of the guys that ends up hanging themselves later, I want to say he's like Manuel in The Walking Dead. He's kind of a small role. Sam Witwer actually is in The Walking Dead as the guy in the tank in the first episode, the zombie in the tank.
Oh, I didn't even know.
But he's
that.
uncredited. Yeah, you wouldn't. you know, you had. Of course, there's Dale. I can't even remember his name in this movie. He's just Dale to me.
Yeah,
Dale
Right.
from The Walking Dead.
played by Jeffrey DeMunn.
Yeah. And then I actually read that Thomas Jane was supposed to originally be Rick Grimes,
Ooh.
but they went with
Oh, that
Andrew
would've been-
Lincoln.
That would have been cool.
Huh.
He would have
Yeah.
been a good Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course Andrea, I never remember how to say her name, but Laurie Holden, the blonde lady from this, you know, she's in The Walking Dead for a long time. So, and I think there might even be more, a couple here and there. You know, Greg Nicotero, he worked on this movie.
Right, and
Oh, he
Howard
did?
Berger.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw
sick.
they were credited in this.
Yeah, and then they go to he goes to Walking Dead and does a bunch of effects for that and stuff like that. So
I
yeah,
think-
there's a ton of connections. I want to say Walking Dead's 2010, 2011.
Yeah, that sounds
2009.
about right. Yeah.
So just a few years after this. And,
Didn't Craig Nicotero like take over the show after like
I think
season
so.
2, and then he started directing
yeah, he
everything?
might
He's
have
been
been
directing
showrunner.
episodes of Creep Show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's kind of moved into
Cool.
directing. Guy
Yeah.
deserves it. He's a very talented man.
Which, if I remember correctly, he used to work with our favorite special
Tom
effects man,
Savini.
Tom
Yeah.
Savini.
Mhm.
He worked. He's in Day of the Dead. He's one of the privates.
Oh,
hanging out
cool.
with Captain Rhodes. Yeah, he's very very talented guy. They him, Howard Berger, and Robert Kurtzman started K&B, and they worked on countless horror movies in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Yep.
A lot of storied man there.
Yeah. While we're on effects, I was watching a video at the visual effects, and they were saying they watched Pan's Labyrinth, and they were like, "Oh, we got to get these guys for the special effects." So they took that company that did Pan's Labyrinth special effects. So I think that's why that poster might be in
Oh,
there in the
that's sick.
beginning.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Have you
And-
seen that?
yeah.
That's one
I
of my
like Pan's
favorites
Labyrinth
too.
a lot. Yeah.
Love that movie.
It's no, I actually really like the effects for this. There's some bad ones, but you know, it's 2007. I'm
I'd
not
say
gonna
more-
judge it too hard.
I'd say more than some personally. I
Yeah,
think there's a lot.
yeah,
but
spider
that's
coming out of
just
his
me.
face we watched.
That's
Some
just
of the
me.
bugs, but yeah, no, they do physical when they can. It seems like I guess they shot this movie in like 5 weeks, 4 weeks, or something
Hmm.
like that.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, so it seemed like everybody had a good time on it. They were all there. You know, there's not like there's that famous story of Ian McKellen doing The Hobbit, and he's like looking around all these like little dwarfs in green screen costumes, and he's like, I was supposed to be an actor.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah, and so there's none of that in this because they're all there. They're actually there in
Right.
the supermarket and, you know, filming and screaming and yelling at each other and
Right.
really like starting to hate each other and things like that. So yeah, it all lends itself, the cast, the crew, everything. It lends itself to what I think ends up being a really good movie. Yeah. Ian, what did you think about The Mist?
Well, so I'm looking on the back of my Blu-ray, a masterpiece by Peter Hammond. I think that's a gross overstatement. I think people need to stop saying masterpiece. That gets thrown around way too much. Yeah, this guy I watch, he was on a YouTube show. He was on the YouTube show that I watch, and I think it was when Prey came out, and everyone was calling that movie a masterpiece. He's like, don't masterpieces happen like once every generation? Like, how can you have 4 masterpieces in like a span of 12 months?
It's like how Rotten Tomatoes, everything comes out with a 98%
Yeah.
fresh rating
Yeah,
these days.
it's just I think people need to cool it on the throwing around the word masterpiece. But this movie's fine. I liked it enough. I bought the Blu-ray. It's not something I watched a lot. I've only seen it once. Then last night made it twice. I watched the black and white version,
Oh,
which
how was that?
I never seen.
Oh.
I think it's probably the better way to watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It that's the way Frank Darabont intended it to be. But the studio's like, teenagers don't like black and white.
Right.
You old man,
Yeah,
make it color.
Gramps.
There's a reason why we don't do black and white anymore. Okay, where this isn't the 1950s, you boomer. But no, I think it's probably it. Just he wanted for this movie to kind of go for like a Night of the Living Dead, and also like the creature features of the 50s, like the thems and like Attack of the 50-foot woman. I don't know if that's in black and white. Like the Beast from 10,000 Fathoms, stuff like that.
Mhm.
I think it fits better.
Yeah.
Gives it more mood.
Mhm.
And
And like you said, it probably could hide some of the worst
Yeah.
CGI.
yeah, although it still does
CG.
not look, I mean, I guess you're giving it like leeway for it's 2000, but at the same time, it's like like, it's just strange. Jurassic Park and Terminator 2 came out in the early 90s, and that CGI holds up, and this doesn't from 2000. I don't understand how that works. It's very weird. But
It's not the worst CGI I've ever seen, though.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's,
It did age a little bit, for
but
sure.
it's still I don't know. I'm just like, ugh, that shit don't look good. But you know, I don't think I brought it up, but Spider-Man has awful CGI too.
Mhm.
So it's not just this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shitty CGI
No,
in the
definitely.
2000s.
This one too, they low budget and all that stuff because I guess I was reading that he was gonna get like double the budget, but they said you got to change the ending. We don't want that ending.
Right.
And he basically said, "Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'll do it for half the
I
price."
respect that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Because don't compromise your art.
Yeah, if that's the way you want to. Because I don't know. Did we bring up that's not how it ends in the novella?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
Do you know how it ends in the novella?
Yeah, it's more open ended in the
Okay.
novella. It's basically like it ends when they're driving. So they haven't run out of gas yet, but he's saying like, "Damn, we're probably gonna run out of gas soon." And he does say, "I got 3 bullets and there's 4 of us in the car."
Oh,
You know, he has like because it's in first person, it's internal monologue stuff, and then they pull into like this grocery store or whatever, and then ends. So it's open interpretation.
Okay.
Whereas this is a little more.
It's pretty definite.
It happened.
Yeah.
yeah. There's no guessing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Not crazy about it, but I enjoy it.
Yes.
How about you, Carlos?
Oh man, what I was probably like 13 when this one came out in 2007. Good year for entertainment, 2007. I gotta say, guys.
I was actually did you any of us see this in the theater?
No, I saw it on Blockbuster. or
I
something.
don't even remember this movie coming out. It came out Thanksgiving weekend of 2007. I
Oh.
was not aware at all.
Yeah, me neither.
I guess it didn't. I guess it did okay box office wise, but
Yeah.
nothing that really I'm sure made the studio really happy. But yeah.
I remember this one blowing my mind when I was a little kid, though. That ending, man, you never
Yeah.
seen nothing like it.
Yeah.
The ending is
Yeah.
very like bleak.
Yep.
Yeah. Whenever
Very
you
sad.
bring it up in conversation, oh yeah, I just saw The Mist recently, and somebody
Yeah.
goes, oh, that ending,
Yeah,
man, that
yeah.
ending.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
really the hallmark of this movie. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's just so brutal and unforgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked revisiting this one. My aunt just texted me. She's gonna come over for the hot chip challenge.
Oh no.
So get ready for that video, guys. Coming. We're gonna do the hot chip challenge.
Oh, no.
Yes, also very brutal and unforgiving.
Yes, very unforgiving.
Yeah.
No, I love Thomas Jane in this role. I think he really puts on the acting in the end, especially for like the pain after.
I
Yeah,
agree.
he does a good
It's-
job.
It's probably
Yeah.
some of the better acting I've seen from him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This and the Punisher, he does pretty good, painful
Mm.
like feelings. Yeah, I love the cast. Love seeing all the Walking Dead people before the Walking Dead. Of course, it's a Stephen King joint, so gotta celebrate our Stephen King. Which I think later this month we'll be covering The Shining as well.
Yeah,
that's right,
That's
yeah.
gonna be great.
Yeah, so get ready for more Stephen King. Yeah, the creatures. I remember the creatures being so disturbing and seeing them again, especially that last one in the end. It's like humongous, just crawling around. It's a lot like a T-Rex because it's bouncing the car around with each step.
Yeah.
A very disturbing film. And like I think Roman was saying, it kind of examines the human condition as well.
Mhm.
Not only are we worried about interdimensional aliens, but we got to be worried about the church lady next
Yeah.
door
Yeah.
or our neighbor who doesn't even want to believe
Yep.
that this is all going down.
I should have had her go out there first.
Yeah.
Yep.
She would have been spared.
She
I
would've been
know.
spared.
Yeah.
Because
She's
sacrifice.
There's a theory that like she was right the whole time, kind of.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause-
she kind of, in certain ways, she kind of is.
I started believing her after a
unfortunately.
while.
Yeah, that's the shitty part. It's like that's what's
Yeah.
frustrating. It's like, oh man, I guess that's why people start buying her drivel,
Mhm.
Yeah, 'cause
That
they,
and she just never stops talking.
and that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they come back out from the. Was that in the pharmacy that they came back from?
King's
when they,
Pharmacy.
when they go back and they like take the military guys. Sam Witwer's
Yeah, that's after the
character.
pharmacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
They-
she has like way more people on her side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that-
pretty
yeah,
much
at
like
that
almost
point.
the whole store.
Yeah.
Because she says like
Almost.
they'll come back tonight, and then they do, and people are like, "She was
Yeah.
right." You know?
But at the same
She's just
time,
stating the obvious.
yeah, it's just like, it's all serendipity. It's all coincidence. You know,
Mhm.
I can say something like, like, so in about 5 minutes that your little thing over there is gonna fall,
Yeah.
and then 5 minutes from now it might fall. Like,
Mhm.
oh
Yeah.
my God, I predicted the future. It's like,
Yeah.
it's shit
You're
happens.
like doing the little Jesus sign.
Yeah, exactly.
Called it.
Yeah,
I
it's just
am
like,
his messenger.
what is it? Murphy's Law. It's like anything that can happen can. Is that what does that apply? Kinda?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I
It's
think so.
just,
Yeah. No. She's proven right, I guess, in
Mhm.
some people's minds. They go full Lord of the Flies and
Yeah.
fucking stab Sam Whitworth or what's his
Yeah.
name?
It's a pretty
Private Jessup.
pretty
Yeah.
Throw him to the wolves.
interesting scene.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like the human condition element of it. It's like when there's a catastrophic or event or a pandemic or, some supernatural bullshit that's going on, like everybody reacts differently. Like Andre Braugher, the neighbor, his reaction is to approach it more logically and,
Mhm.
like, come on, it can't be supernatural. It's not a poison leak or anything. It's just a storm. We're just going to go get help. And in a
Right.
way, like, it's rational. It makes sense. He's not getting whipped up in all the craziness that,
Right.
Mrs. Carmody is and them, but he doesn't have all the facts and he refuses to believe. He's stubborn. So that's ultimately his downfall, and I really like, the way they just walk into the mist and sort of just like dissolve,
Mhm.
Yeah.
off the screen. It's kind of like almost symbolic, like, see ya, you're not coming back in this movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you get like Thomas Jane and his crew, and they're more like, we got to do something because the front of the store is glass. We can't just wait here to die. And that's good. They're proactive. But then ultimately it ends up being their downfall as well. The theory about like Miss Carmody being right, she says like they demand blood, expiation, blah, blah, blah. They want to kill the boy and the blonde woman, I guess, technically. And then Thomas Jane at the end, when he does shoot them, it's like right away, then all the problems get solved. Then the military shows up. Like maybe that's what God was waiting for or whatever. I don't know. But God didn't save you. The military did. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you could go back forth and examine all that stuff,
Yeah.
analyze, but yeah, no, it's just almost nihilistic at the end,
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it's a very nihilistic ending for sure.
yeah, it, again goes back to that Lovecraft sort of like, you're not going to win,
Right.
you can't win here, and you might as well just accept your fate and take things your own way.
Right.
But then I watched one of the behind the scenes, and there's an interview with Laurie Holden, who plays Amanda, the blonde lady, the teacher. She says that like there's this little glimmer of hope in that woman with kids at home, Carol from The Walking Dead. When you see her on the van, like at least somebody survived, like people survive. You kind of assume the people in the supermarket are going to get rescued and survive.
Yeah.
So even with all the crazy shit that went on and the awful like heart-wrenching stuff, having to kill your own kid and stuff like that, at least there's some hope there in the end. It's bleak, but at the same time, like somebody made it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of the mist. So yeah, I really like this one. I enjoy the mist. It is a little long, and there's some parts that sort of drag. Like I couldn't tell you anything that as great of an actress as she is, Marcia Gay Harden, I couldn't tell you what she said in the bathroom when she had the candle lit and she was talking to God or whatever. I was just like, come on, let's get this moving.
I will say this time I did feel it drag a lot more. But I wonder if that's a good thing, because it really puts you in the situation like, oh, we're really trapped in this grocery store for a long time. Maybe there is no hope. And that's the way that we can achieve such a good ending. Because if you don't feel like it's going on for so long and this might be the rest of our lives is chilling out in mist with interdimensional beings, then maybe you feel like, oh, why kill your family?
Yeah.
Right.
I even still, I did feel like it all moved a little fast. Like I thought, I don't know, it's just almost like you can kind of just sit in the car and wait a little longer. They waited about 2 minutes before they started shooting.
And then I started blasting.
Yeah, exactly.
I started blasting.
They wanted to save everybody so bad. Going to the pharmacy was pretty dumb. It was a pretty dumb move.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, the guy's brother was dying. I guess just let him go. You didn't need to take 7-8 people. I think that's kind of one of the character flaws of David Drayton too. He's just trying to save everybody and be a hero, and you just can't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what part of what the movie's saying too, is human nature. Like you just can't. You gotta save yourself, sort of.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the back room scene with Norm when he's all like pussy?
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
open up the gate and then like tentacles come through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shermanator gets got. That's
Yeah.
our green
Yeah.
screen.
Oh, yeah.
I guess that was like the first like really
Like an on-screen death almost.
Yeah.
like first like scary.
Like, oh shit, there
Moments.
really is shit in
Right,
the mist.
yeah.
It's not a
Yeah.
chemical leak.
Right.
Yeah, I never thought I'd see the Shermanator get killed by a tentacle
Yeah.
monster on screen. So
When
That
you were
was
Roman, did you say, or Carlos, when you guys said that Frank Darabont didn't even know about Shermanator?
Yeah, that he'd never seen the American Pie movies. He didn't know about who Shermanator was.
Yeah. Frank Darabont has much better stuff to do than watch the American Pie movies.
It's,
it's fair.
yeah, this isn't from The Mist. This is
This is from American Pie.
Yeah, this is American Pie.
Oh no.
the
Yeah.
hentai scene. in
Yeah.
American Pie.
Yes, exactly. The hentai version.
Nah, I like that scene a lot. It's really where you start to see like obviously the threat of the mist, but also the human nature come into play, because Jim and Myron are like, "Come on, kid, like get out there." You know, David quit being a bitch, and Shermanator the same thing, pussy.
Yeah.
And then that gets him killed, and they just freeze up the two mechanics. They don't do anything. Ollie, the manager, you know, he's like the unassuming badass trope. He gets the axe and like actually cuts, or maybe it's David Drayton, I can't remember, but yeah, the two of them end up trying to save the kid. And no, that was an instance of bad CGI, I thought, when the tentacle comes up
Yeah.
and like breaks the dog food bag,
Oh,
and the
yes.
camera like kind of pulses, you know.
Yeah.
I think
They did a lot of
the
that.
dog food spreads all over the two mechanic guys.
Yeah.
They're like, ooh, dog food.
Yeah, the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah. We prefer cat food. Oh my.
Yeah. I'm a cat person.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty brutal though. It could just be like a tentacle, like a old monster horror film, but then they add almost like teeth to the tentacles. And at one point it grabs the Shermanator's chest and just rips it off.
Okay.
I thought that was a pretty brutal
okay.
effect too.
Yeah.
I rewatched that effect a bunch. It was really cool. Like they green screen grab it. They add in obviously the CGI tentacles later, but like, yeah, he grabs it and like lifts it up and in his palm like squeezes it, and so it shoots on Terminator's face too. So it's just like all kind of like a one fell swoop. Yeah, no, it's really cool seeing how those effects were made.
Wait, you saw the behind the scenes of that?
Yeah, they have really good behind the scenes for the effects on this movie.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they interview Frank Darabont, and he's like, one thing I want you guys to see is the shot before, like as we shot it, and then the shot in the middle as we're editing it, and then the final shot that makes it in the movie. And so you get to see like a bunch of scenes like that.
Oh, that's really cool.
Like, wow, this is really very informative. Thank you, Frank. Yeah. No, and the behind the scenes, obviously, like everyone's having fun. They shot it so fast as a group and everything. So yeah, I had a good time watching that. One of the better making ofs that I've seen.
That's cool.
Yes, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like that. And then they go into the store, and like I said, they try to convince people, but people won't be convinced. And then very conveniently, you know, the claw tentacle thing that they chopped off like melts into goo, so there's no proof. Yeah, you could throw as much cow's blood as you want back there, which really is some super denial that, you know, Brent Norton, the neighbor.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty out there.
It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
they're not playing a prank on you.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's a little, you know, he's a city boy. He's kind of
right. Yeah, he's Hollywood.
Yeah, he's very like self-important. He thinks that they're gonna go through all this work just to prank him and stuff. It's like, dude, come on, get your head out of your ass, like he says.
Yeah.
I like the other part where the neighbor, he's trying to take off with his group, but then the other guy, he lets them tie a rope around his waist, and then he's going to try to make it for the car.
The biker.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty fun too. They're all trying to pull the rope back.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh shit, what's at the end of the rope? Oh no, it's the legs, and they're still dragging it in while all the ladies are going, ah!
Yeah, they keep
my
pulling.
God. And they're like, keep pulling in, keep pulling in. Scare the people more.
But I like it because the rope, it gets like caught in their tug of war, and then it just comes all the way up.
Yeah, that's pretty spooky.
Yeah, it's yeah. If you don't see the monster, it's scarier.
Exactly.
It's one of those things.
Yeah.
What is this?
Mhm. Yeah, no, I like all that stuff, and then I think after that, right after they pull then it's kind of, I think it sort of goes into maybe a slower part of the movie,
Right. Yeah.
where it does. I think that's more supposed to be again like Lord of the Flies, where they're sort of eating each other from the inside out. Is that how you say that? I don't know. That sounds sexual, but
trying to figure out what the heck they're gonna do next.
yeah, and that again, I could see that being a little more dragging a little bit.
Mhm.
Some sort of that whole dialogue between Andrea from The Walking Dead, where she's like, "People are good. People won't do this." It's like, yeah, I kind of understand that. Like, that's the whole point of the movie. But,
Mhm.
they gotta spell it out sometimes for simplicity's sake.
We also have the bug scene at night too, where they're all flashing the lights on the bugs and attracting a bunch.
Yeah.
What do you think about that one, Christian?
Did I watch that?
I think so.
Is that one of the ones that
was when they bust the glass open and like the lady gets bit on the neck. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, the one of the clerks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy lights himself on fire. Such a goofy way to die.
Is that the same scene where everybody's going crazy and they keep turning the lights on, and like after someone's saying, "Oh, they're attracted to light."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, why didn't they just cover up like the window? Couldn't they cover the windows with something?
Could have, yeah. Should have. Yeah, they're attracted to light as like Jim and Myron are running around turning on all the generators and shit. With these bright lights.
I think at one point they're like, "So wait a minute, do you want us to turn them on or off? What's going on?"
Yeah,
it's like way too late for that now.
Chaos and confusion and screaming and everything, and like there's David's got his kid with that
lady with the short hair. I don't know if she even has a name. The librarian lady.
Oh yeah,
he leaves her.
Just
the lady who dies in her sleep.
Other woman with kids.
She offs herself. Yeah, other woman with kids. Short hair woman with kids.
Yeah.
David spends like a majority of that bug fighting scene trying to light his mop up.
Yeah, him and Andrea, they're just going, "Come on, get the lighter going, come on." It's like the horror movie when they get to the door with the keys and they're like, "Which key?"
Yeah.
They should have just used that guy's body when he set himself on fire. Okay, there we go.
He sets himself on fire after, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
That's funny.
He was trying to put him out. It's a good fire stunt.
Yeah, really good fire stunt.
Yeah, that's cool. It's on fire for quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then another guy gets like his neck ripped out by one of the pterodactyl things. And
yeah.
So a few people end up dying from that big attack. But yeah, it's very chaotic, like you said. It's literally just like, "Wah!" And then that's when Miss Carmody, the bug lands on her, and she like stays still, and it doesn't eat her, and her hair gets like blown back by the wings. She's like, "Oh,
blessed."
What a letdown.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, kill that woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna kill that poor woman.
They're gonna kill that poor woman.
She's one of them.
Yeah.
Did you guys like the pharmacy scene when Spider started bursting out of that one guy, and then he like falls, and then like his back just explodes full of them?
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's a
good little action scene.
Some bad CG in that scene,
Yeah.
but the idea of it all is really good. That having the human be like a vessel, like a cocoon, basically for just hundreds of spiders, disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like Frodo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shelob's lair. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then the spiders are shooting out like acidic webs
Right.
at them to melt their limbs off.
Yeah.
One guy gets shot in the face with it. So
Yeah,
his
yeah.
face is
He's
probably
dead.
gone.
He's
Yeah.
done.
Yep.
Yeah, I like all the creatures and stuff. They're almost like something you could see coming from this world. Like the bugs look sort of like big flies. They look sort of like pterodactyls. They're spider creatures, but then they're also not. They're not of this world. It's familiar and yet not all at the same time.
Do they turn any of the people into like creatures, or does it just kill them?
I think it just kills them. Yeah.
Okay.
No zombie action or anything, as far as I know.
Yeah, I was almost kind of wondering like how the spiders get in him.
Ugh.
Is it after you get bit?
I don't know.
Because the grocery store clerk that got bit and ended up dying, no spiders came out of her.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I don't know.
She gets stung by like one of those fly things. Maybe the spider, like just injected eggs into the guy.
Yeah.
So like the face hugger.
Nice warm host.
That's what it kind of reminds me of, the chest burster and the face huggers and from Alien.
Bunch of back bursters.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Bambi bursters.
Yeah. Spiders, a bunch of little spiders. It's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all like making noise and shit.
Yeah.
I'm not what is it called? When people are afraid of spiders, it's some type of phobia.
Arachnophobia. Good movie.
I don't have arachnophobia, but yeah, it was disturbing.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck that shit.
What do you guys think about the soundtrack? We have some like chanting going on in there.
It's cool.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So it didn't like blow me away.
Yeah.
Really. But it's like
It's fine.
fits the mood.
It's not bad.
Reminds me of a little bit of like a Halo soundtrack
Yeah,
or
we
something
talk
like
about
that.
that. Yeah.
I like the chanting at the end. You know, it sounds.
Yeah, I
she,
guess
she sounds very
Dra-
sad.
dramatic, so I guess it fits that ending.
Yeah, it matches his scream at the
Yeah.
end a little bit.
It's very epic and almost like
Yeah,
otherworldly. In
yeah.
a way.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as for the rest of it, I probably don't remember any.
Yeah.
Right.
Really, maybe that's a
Yeah.
good thing, like you said.
Sure.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Blends in.
Yep.
Miss Carmody, the preacher lady, she says that everybody's a sinner and it's the end of time.
End of days. It is the end of days. Oh, come on.
So we should all prepare to die. And she even points out that the bugs that attack at night, those are kind of like locusts, which is one of the first
Right.
first plagues.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the religious aspect of this film? Because we have the two neighbors, they're going at it like, we gotta like save everybody, and the other neighbor's like, no, I don't believe you. But then we also have a third person in there, the religious aspect, who's like trying to rationalize it in her head that, oh no, this is all from God. It's the end of days.
It's going to be the end of days. I like Thomas J makes the Jim Jones connection.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was neat.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, he's like, I want to get out of here before they start drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I'm a strong believer in Christianity and religion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
shame.
I guess is it Stephen King commenting on like religious people?
Oh
Maybe.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. She's a huge Stephen King character trope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a lot of characters. You know, hyper religion is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of
Isn't there
other.
Mr. Mackey in this movie? I think the butcher's name is Mackey.
Oh
Oh,
really?
really?
Oh, that's hilarious.
The one that stabs.
Trying to think of other people in other Stephen King. Mr. Mackey. That's hilarious.
Mr. Mackey.
That kind of fit that trope. I know that there's a lot of like the abusive.
Misery, is she
domestic-
religious?
Yeah, a little bit. I think maybe.
I remember her
Probably.
having a cross around her neck.
Yeah. The mother in Carrie. That's the
Right.
big one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Offensive religious.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely, it's a theme in his works. That's for sure.
I do think it was. I don't know. That part to me is like a little unbelievable. Maybe just people in a catastrophe rally around whatever is available to grab. But I just feel like, I don't know, unless you're in small town Texas or something, because they're supposed to be in Maine. I
Right.
don't know how many like God-fearing Old Testament reading.
Yeah. That's
Christians
not
there
really
are
the
up there.
Bible Belt. Yeah.
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 So they all really like latch onto her really fast.
Yeah.
And they're all expiation.
Yeah.
Like you said, today's word. Welcome to Sesame Street.
Yeah.
All he says.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Today's word is expiation. It's just like it happens real quick because they go to the pharmacy. David Drayton, when they come back, he passes out for, I don't know, 5-6 hours or whatever. And then by the time he wakes up, they're all super on this wave of like, yep, we got to sacrifice the soldiers and, probably sacrifice one person a night or something after that. I don't know. To me, I'm sort of like Laurie Holden's character where I'm like, people would never do that. They wouldn't turn on each other just like that. And then, I don't know, maybe. It's like I
Maybe.
said, COVID sort of shows you quite a bit
Yeah.
about the way people react in adverse situations as a
Yep.
group.
Well, David, he's good down there, deep down in his
Yeah.
heart,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's like, there are good people, but overall,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys.
Oh, I don't know.
Should we rate this one?
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, well, we didn't talk about the ending yet.
No.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I think Kristian just now saw it for the first time. What do you think about that ending?
Really
Fresh reaction.
dark. I was not expecting him to do that.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Should I just say it or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he kills the two old people with him, his son, and what could have been his girlfriend, which kinda sucks. All he had to do was wait like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
the tanks start showing up. They have a caravan of people on the back of one of their vehicles, and yeah, they're looking at each other, and he's very like, "What the fuck did I just do?"
Yeah.
Yeah, So
Shot my kid.
it was good. It was good. I like the ending. It's just it's very depressing.
Super
and,
depressing.
and sort of
Yeah.
unexpected, from a big movie like this. You kind of
Right.
expect it'll be like a happy ending, or maybe but like the novella just open ended. Nah, like just. Well, actually, I guess we didn't also talk about they do end up leaving the supermarket, and then Mrs. Carmody's there, and Ollie ends up shooting her in the face.
Yep.
Which is satisfying as a viewer because you
Yeah.
really hate her.
I was gonna
Mhm.
mention
Yep.
that, yeah.
Yeah, so they get out of there, get away from all the religious sacrificial zealots, and then get out to the supermarket or get out to the parking lot. A couple people die on the way, and then like you said, there's 5 of them in the car with 4 bullets. He says, "I'll figure something out." And it's pretty crazy. The shot, it's like the gun, and he's holding it in his lap, and then it kind of focuses to his son who's been sleeping this whole time, and the son wakes up and looks at the gun and the camera, and he's kind of like, "What's going on?" And he's even then, you're still sort of thinking, maybe they'll, something will happen. They'll get saved, some Deus Ex Machina. But nah, he just, it just cuts to the exterior of the car, and it's pop, 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 pop.
I really like that shot of him loading the gun, and then it focuses on the son's expression, and I think the son gives a pretty good expression there too.
Yeah, the son's confused, what's
Yeah.
going on, Dad?
And then his eyes just get a little bit wider, like he's like, "Uh-oh."
Because when they go back to David's house and they see his wife dead, obviously it's sad for him, but his son, he's still asleep the whole time. He doesn't even know his mom's dead. So yeah, it's pretty tough. And then, like you said, they just waited 30 seconds.
Is it really 30?
I mean, I don't know. 45. He gets out of the
yeah.
car, he screams,
And then
kill
and then-
me.
That's true.
in a way, it's kind of a happy ending. They beat the creatures,
The
the
humans,
world goes back to
humans
normal.
prevail.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah. But this
Point.
group we're following, this character arc
Yeah.
of David,
it's pretty
and he's
tragic.
fucked for the rest of his life.
It's pretty tragic.
No coming
Yeah.
back from that.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's like I said, maybe he needed to spill some blood for it to all end. I don't think so, but
I believe there's a Mist TV show now, isn't there? Have you guys
Well,
watched
it
it?
says in the apparently it was in 2017 or something. I don't know.
2017?
I don't know
said it
anything
lasted
about
one
it.
season on
Oh,
Spike
okay,
TV.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's supposed to be any good or not.
Yeah, I don't know, because I assume a novella by Stephen King, that would be like a short story, right?
Yeah.
How do you?
I mean, it's pretty
Take a 2-hour
interesting. Well,
movie.
they have made a short story and a 2-hour movie. Do we really need a TV show to go
Yeah.
along with it? You
They
know?
made a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's my video
Half-Life.
game?
Yeah.
They have a Mist
Half-Life. They
video
did. It's
game?
called Half-Life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the one from the 90s.
The Mist with a Y.
Mist, pissed.
Missed.
Piss.
Right?
A mist of piss.
Jesus.
A pister,
That's
if
what the P
you
stands
will.
for here.
Yes, exactly. P for pissed.
Pissed.
Yeah,
The pissed.
yeah.
A bunch of very angry people in the movie,
Yeah.
collectively equally pissed off
Pissed off.
people.
I'm pissed off. Yeah, the ending definitely I think sticks with you, and that's what it did for people. Is it lingers? It's one of those lingering endings. Just like ugh.
Yeah.
Leaves
So-
a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah. It's very depressing because it could have easily just been a happy ending.
Yeah.
Like they pull up in their car. And, oh my God, the military's here. We did it. We made it.
Yeah.
Like we were right to leave the store. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
Nah. Turns out you probably should have stayed,
Yeah.
and that's really sad.
I like
I
the
think
ending.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I like the ending we got better.
Right.
me too.
Yeah.
Especially because it's sort of novel. You don't get to
Yeah,
any
exactly.
of
Yeah.
those super nihilistic,
I
depressing.
mean, I
endings.
like happy endings, but at the same time, not every movie needs a happy ending.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Sometimes you can end on a downer, like it's fine.
Shoot, and now like I'm a parent. I have a 6-month-old, so it's like even more so. Like can't
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
Before you would have to tell me like, imagine shooting your cat. And that's one thing, but imagine shooting your child,
Yeah.
like an 8-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know,
That's got to be tough.
yeah.
But
Yep.
the Night of the Living Dead, the remake especially, it has a similar ending, doesn't it?
I think the original has a kind of more ending that's in vein with this.
That's right, because they end up killing zombified
Dwayne Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, he's not even zombie. They think he's a zombie. He actually makes it through the. Anyway, I guess we could talk about that another time. I think it's more in line with that.
Yeah. Who wants to rate it first, guys? Christian?
Yeah.
What do you give it?
I think I'll give this a 4.
Nice.
Yeah, I like the whole vibe. I like the setting of it. The grocery store. I'm calling it grocery store
Oh my god.
storer
Oh, a
instead of
grocery
horror.
store. Yeah.
Oh,
A very niche
Yeah,
genre.
that's funny.
Three movies.
Is there? Yeah, it's not.
I'm trying to think of another grocery store
Yeah,
film.
there's-
Maybe Cobretti,
Oh, Intruder.
Intruder.
Yeah, it's a slasher from the late '80s. I think Sam Raimi had something to do with it. Bruce Campbell's in it for a second. Plays a cop.
Speaking of Bruce Campbell, he just came out with one from 2020.
Oh, the Black Friday thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
where
But
they're
is that
in-
a grocery store though?
Eh,
I think
more
it's a
of-
mall, like Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, there you
No,
go.
it's more of like a Toys R Us kind of deal.
Oh, yeah, that's
One
right.
big department store.
Okay,
That
like
was
how where he's working in the Army of Darkness.
Yeah, it's like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. By
Yeah,
the way.
I could see
Damn.
that.
So sad.
I could see that.
But
That's
anyway,
okay.
sorry, interrupted.
Just watch Evil Dead instead.
That's so good. Yeah, I like the setting. I like a lot of the characters. Even the ones that I want to die, I'm entertained.
Yeah,
And yeah, some of the CGI really not great, but I can look past that.
right. Yeah,
Hopefully.
Mhm.
Yeah. Very sad. Very sad. You know, you can like a movie that is sad. I mean,
Oh, of
you know,
course.
obviously, like,
Yeah, definitely.
and this does it pretty well. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's one of those. Not a tearjerker necessarily, but
Yeah, I've definitely heard people say they cry at the ending. You know,
Mhm.
Sure.
yeah,
moves them to tears.
yeah, I can see it.
Shit, it's depressing, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sad stuff.
I'm depressed just thinking about it.
It's a good way to kick off the October
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
So
Horror fest.
Yeah, I wanted to pick a 2000s horror too because it's like sort of
I'm
something.
gonna bring that up when I rate it.
Yeah.
About 2000s horror.
2000s.
I hope I don't offend you because I know
It's-
you're a big 2000s horror
It's
fan.
my like I don't know.
That's
guilty
where we
pleasure
grew up.
I
almost.
probably won't offend you.
No, you won't.
We'll see.
Well, what do you? Go ahead, Ian.
I'll give it a 3.5. It's above average. Going into what I just said, I'm not a fan of 2000s horror, really. I like the Dawn of the Dead remake. I like the House of Wax remake
it's Paris Hilton.
with Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
The Paris Hilton. That's kind of it. I like this. This is a standout to me of 2000s horror. I think this is one of the better ones, if not maybe the best. Because I'm trying to like it was just all remakes.
Tons
I
of
just named two
That's true,
remakes, you
that's
know.
true.
Saw was really good.
Saw.
the first one.
I'm not a big fan of Saw. I don't like torture. I don't like hostile. Like I'm not a torture porn guy.
You gotta watch The Signal.
Oh,
was
okay.
2000s.
Okay. There's Trick or Treat. That's a good one.
Trick
Which
or
have you
treat.
seen that?
Oh, I want to see that.
This month.
Trick or treat.
This is the best time of the year to watch
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Trick
It's
or
on. I
treat.
think it's on Shutter, or it was.
Okay.
So
It's
I'm sure it'd be a criminal not to have that streaming during October.
yeah.
it's
gotta be
being
somewhere.
released to the movie theaters for the first time
Right,
ever.
really? Yeah.
Yeah, this month.
wow.
Yeah, I know that movie had a really strange release deal. Like, I think it did, but only like a certain amount of maybe 100 theaters or something weird.
Oh, okay.
Like 2 years after it came out. It's really strange. Or it was made. Strange stuff.
You got to see Stay Alive.
Stay Alive.
The Frankie
Stay Alive.
Muniz movie.
Oh,
Oh
that's
my
right. Is
God.
that the one with the Xbox controller for
Yeah.
the? Yeah.
It's where if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Oh,
yeah.
that sounds
Oh
fun.
my
It's
God.
super.
What is-
Matrix.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
fucking. There's another thing like that too.
Yeah,
What is that?
I can't
Oh, that's
remember If you die in the game, you die.
I
in real
forget.
life.
Anyway,
Jumanji.
Jumanji. Yeah.
Maybe you know.
But yeah, I do. Like I said, I wouldn't have the Blu-ray if I didn't like the movie. I like it. It doesn't blow me away. It's not to me, there's more interesting Stephen King stories. Even though this is pretty cool. I like Mist. I like Fog. I think that's really good atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's got a good cast. It's got good performances. I like Thomas Jane. I think I'd probably say that in Deep Blue Sea. I think he's a good actor.
Where's Thomas Jane on our heroes chart now, or like our
Might be up
Mm.
there. I always
actor chart?
I think I say this in Deep Blue Sea, our review for that. I always remember him from Boogie Nights.
Mhm.
Plays a pretty wacky dude in that. But yeah, at the same time, though, it's just kind of, you know, because again, like Kristian and I are kind of like, wait, when did that happen? It's a lot of it is kind of forgettable. I
Mhm.
think really the ending is what makes people remember this movie. I think if
Yeah.
it didn't have that ending, it maybe might not be as talked about. I don't know. That might be a
Definitely.
controversial
I
opinion.
agree.
But
No.
yeah. I'm not, again, like you guys, you have all the Walking Dead connections. I don't really have that. I'm not a big Walking Dead fan, so that kind of, I don't have that sort of personal attachment. Yeah, and really, I think Frank Darabont, he's a better writer. I feel the same way about all of his movies he directed, Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile. I like them, but I'm not crazy. People say Shawshank Redemption is like the greatest movie ever made, and I completely disagree. It's a very good movie, but of all time, like, come on.
It is like I think it might be
It's number
top
one. It's been
rated
on number
IMDb.
one like forever on
Yeah.
IMDb. And I'm just like, I don't know about that. It's a really good movie, but
I would say it's
or
better
a good
than this
movie.
I think I like that over The Mist.
I'd have to watch Shawshank Redemption again, but
I like it better than The Mist, I would say too.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah. I think his writing, I like he co-wrote Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and he wrote the Blob remake in the 80s, and I actually would choose those two movies any day over this personally.
Oh,
That's just
okay.
more kind of up my alley.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know, 3.5. It's good. I'm glad we watched. Oh, and I'm glad I watched in black and white finally too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
I would recommend people watch it in black and white. That's what Frank Darabont recommends too. So yeah, 3.5 for me.
Nice.
Yeah. He did say, that he wanted to get back to his roots a little bit, get back to horror movies after doing Shawshank and Green Mile and stuff like that. That's why he had wanted to make this movie, I guess, for like 20 years.
Yeah,
and basically said, okay, like I'm going to make this movie or I'm going to make Shawshank Redemption. And then he went with Shawshank, and that put his career on a certain path and stuff like that. So for me, I was kind of thinking maybe 4.5. I think I'm gonna go with 4.5. 4.5. I do really like this movie, of course. This is why I picked it. I hadn't seen it in a while too, so I was excited to rewatch it. It is a little slow in some parts. Some of the CG is kind of laughable.
Sorry, that's just a funny picture.
Morgan Freeman.
Him and Morgan Freeman. Very intimate picture of them.
No, it's a good movie. I like it. I like the themes. I like that again. Look, Lord of the Flies, where it's just people turning on each other and going crazy, and human nature is really the big bad villain. That's another emotional attachment I have is like you said, I've seen Walking Dead, and that's kind of a theme in Walking Dead too. After a while, the zombies, they know how to handle them for the most part, but it's really the humans that are the big bads. I've also got that emotional attachment with Half-Life. I do see sort of the connections and some of the same themes and stuff like that. Also, the hyper religion, and that's bad. Okay, to quote again, Mr. Mackey the Butcher. I like the story. I like the actors. I like the action. The monsters are creepy. It's unsettling, and then just the ending. Like you said, Ian, if the ending was different, I think this movie would have a much different reputation. I don't think I'd like it as much. The ending for me is probably what takes it from a 4 to a 4.5. It's just so bleak, and like I said, all the way up to the end, you kind of still think, oh, maybe there's a way out for them. Like something will happen. They'll figure something out, and then they don't. It does sort of piss me off that they do it so quickly, that they don't wait a couple more minutes, and then they would have been saved. But hey, extreme situations push you to extremes. So I guess that was it. And they all, it's creepy, them all like having that kind of silent agreement where they look at each other and they sort of like nod, and they're like, well, shit, we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, I like that ending. Better than what could have happened.
If he had done what he originally was supposed to do and made this a bigger budget movie, but he had to change the ending, I don't know what it would have been. Would it have been open-ended like the novella, or would he have had the military come and save him and it's a happy day and everything? No, I'm glad we got what we got. So 4.5 for me.
Nice.
Carlos?
Let's see. 2007's The Mist. This would probably be a strong 4 back in the 2007, but after my rewatch, I got to downgrade it to a 3.5 this time around. The CGI didn't keep up, unfortunately.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. One of the best endings ever. I love showing people this film too. Like whenever people are like, "Oh, I need a good film to watch," you better watch The Mist right now. If you haven't seen that stuff, it's good. Yeah, I love like you guys are all saying, we're examining not only aliens but the human condition. Love me some Thomas Jane. Love all the Walking Dead people. I think it's just a really well done horror film. Unfortunately, our visual effects aren't as good as they used to be.
Yeah, did not age well, right?
No.
And then I did find when Sam and I were watching it, we were laughing a little bit more at it this time. Some of the music, it would like go oh, and then all of a sudden it would stop, and then they'd talk for a second, and then it'd go right back to driving, and they'd be like oh, and it's like Sam like started cracking up. She's like, hold on, wait a minute.
Pause funny.
That's hilarious. Yeah. You know who else I really like? I like Toby Jones as Ollie in this one.
Yeah.
He's a standout in this one too. We know him from Captain America. He plays one of the evil scientists.
Yeah.
That's right. I was
Yeah.
trying to remember. I've seen this guy in
Yeah.
something, and it's
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh,
what I
he's
know him
the
from.
evil dude in Winter Soldier. or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, like when the manager's like, I'm taking names, starting with you. And he's like, in the meantime, shut the fuck up and listen.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, shut. He handles business. All he does.
Yes.
And Marcia Gay Harden as Miss Carmody, and William Sadler as Jim, the two kind of bad guys in this film. I love them. I think they really add a lot to this film. Two very scary people that you don't want to be in the same grocery
Yep.
store trapped with.
Right.
But yeah, I give it a strong 3.5. It's not the most perfect film ever made, but very entertaining, and gotta recommend to watch through at least once.
Yeah. The you were saying this earlier, but it's strange how they can't get better CGI than Jurassic Park.
I
which
don't know
came
how
out,
that works.
like
Yeah.
14
I
years
don't
before.
know how that works.
Yeah,
Very
computers
strange.
advance so much, and even still, we still have bad CGI. today.
Exactly.
It's like,
Yeah.
geez.
No, you know,
What's happening?
Spider-Man, awful CGI. Like, what the hell?
Did you guys see that Old Spice commercial where they de-aged Drago?
No. Is this?
I have seen
wait,
that,
Wait.
yeah.
When was this new?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
It
one where
was-
he's
it
like
was on my
spraying water out
Snapchat.
of his armpits.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy.
Yeah. It's weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, but he's young again, like Rocky.
Oh no.
He's
Yeah.
young again.
Oh no.
Yeah, they hide some of the CG with like the cinematography style, where they sort of do like this fast pace, like they do a lot of focusing, like from front to back, and they got big like shots of groups of people, and they jolt the camera a bunch, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like that. It seems like they tried to hide it a little bit, but
Mhm.
I like it. I like that kind of low budget element to it.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like they did it fast and loose.
Yeah.
That was one thing.
Loose.
Loose.
And they drank.
That was one thing behind the scenes, is that Frank Darabont was saying, like, yeah, most of these takes are like first or second take. We didn't do, 10 takes.
Right.
They were just like, go, go, go.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of authentic performances
Nice,
coming
yeah.
out,
That's cool.
Next week we will be off because of the Aftershock Festival in town, everybody. But look out in your feeds for the one chip challenge. We're gonna do a standoff right now with probably like 8 people and see who can last the longest. We're all pretty scared and intimidated by this chip. Our tongues are gonna be blue.
I'm not worried.
Our asses are gonna be blue.
Yeah, we're gonna be sweating, snotting,
It's
throwing
the
up.
big one.
It's
Yep.
the big one, Harry.
Oh God.
But after that, do you guys know what movie we'll be covering the following
We're
weekend?
doing the Howling
Werewolf in
American
London.
Werewolf in London double feature,
I think so.
right?
The
Or
What
maybe,
weekend?
maybe The Shining.
That's,
15th we had The Shining, but I think there's going to be some
Let's
scheduling.
let's move it because
Okay.
Roman needs to be there for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some good friends of mine that are big like horror movie fans and spooky season aficionados. So they wanted to get married on Friday the 13th in October, but Friday the 14th is as close as they're going to get. So
Oh,
Yeah.
dang. That's
When's I wonder when the
So that's
next
when I'll be out.
October Friday the 13th is.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they just wait for 4 years or whatever to
Yeah,
get married.
yeah.
Like, we gotta get it
Yeah.
on Friday.
That's funny.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll be in a spooky wedding this
Nice.
time.
I do have two
Sounds fun.
proposals while Roman's at the wedding, though. Did you
Uh-huh.
guys see Hocus Pocus 2 just released?
Oh no.
And the new Munsters released.
I hear that is awful. Which
Shit.
I wonder if they
Rob
de-aged in Hocus
Zombie.
Pocus 2.
oh, I hope not.
Sarah Jessica Parker as a 30-year-old again.
Boy.
Bette Midler.
Yeah, those could both be pretty bad, I bet.
Yeah.
I love the original
We
Hocus
get
Pocus.
drunk and watch
Somebody I
them or
follow on
something.
Twitter said Hocus Pocus 2 is amazing.
Is it a
Yes.
masterpiece?
They
10 out of 10.
Is it
basically did say it.
Along with the 10 other masterpieces we've got in the past year?
I pray wasn't a masterpiece.
Army of the Dead was a masterpiece, apparently. People that word needs to needs to be outlawed.
Barbarian was a masterpiece, right?
Barbarian
It's
was
good.
Pearl,
Barbarian
It's
masterpiece.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a masterpiece anymore. You can't make
Too
masterpieces.
diluted.
Yeah, everything sucks. No, I'm kidding.
It's tough for Frank Darabont, who can probably never have a new magnum opus, best movie,
Yeah.
because he's got already.
I don't even think he's really doing anything
Shawshank behind him.
anymore, really.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what he's done since Walking
Maybe he's
Dead.
like John Carpenter, just playing video games, watching basketball, playing music.
Maybe so.
Basketball to the death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to make 5 shots, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Fucking Che Guevara.
Oh my God.
making you run suicides.
One day we'll talk about that movie.
Yes,
Escape
Escape from L.A.
from Los
Look out for it.
Angeles.
New York first, though.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe we
Double
can do a double
feature.
feature.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Just say why New York is so much better than LA.
Yeah.
There's a
That's
funny-
just like
My
your
opinion.
opinion.
There's a
man.
funny ass video. It's like, I don't know if John Carpenter's like he's at a convention. They're doing a Q&A and like someone asks him, yeah, why does Escape from LA suck so much? He just goes, fuck you. That's the whole video.
I actually really like LA.
Uh,
I have them.
I can watch it. It's fun. You
Yeah,
know,
it's not bad.
It's
It's
just,
campy.
it's just to me, it's just such a step down from New York. But I mean, I'd rather
Steve
watch
Buscemi,
Escape
baby.
from LA from Ghosts to Mars. I was not impressed with Ghosts of Mars.
Oh, Ian, do you want to shout out your candles?
Yes, yeah. So in honor of October, I bought some Unita candles. This is a YouTuber and his wife make these. It's a Planet CHH. Go watch his stuff. He reviews movies much like us. He likes horror movies. He likes action movies. Go check out his stuff. The scent is I'm not even a big candy corn fan, but I like the scent. I think it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, it smells
I'm gonna
good.
try to buy
going
some
here.
more stuff from him when he and his wife when they put more stuff out. I guess they're putting a Halloween H2O themed candle out today. I'm gonna try
Oh,
to snag
no.
that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he
Looks
did like Friday the 13th themes and Halloween themes. Really cool stuff.
Smells like LL Cool J's cologne.
Exactly. Yeah, it smells like Josh Hartnett's messy hair.
Oh, good.
It looks like cheese.
And yes, it does. It looks very orange.
Yeah, forbidden snack.
Yeah, we'll be burning them up, I'm sure, through the rest of the month.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks for
you.
choosing The Mist.
Yeah,
Always a great one to
right.
watch.
yeah.
Look out for any
The
mist.
good old pissed.
Yeah, careful at 6 a.m.
Yeah,
That mist could be a poison leak or
could be poisonous gas.
yeah, or alien creatures.
Yeah.
We're going to go burn our tongues off now, guys.
Yeah.
So,
See you on the other side.
yeah, if we survive, well, maybe we'll
yeah,
see
this might be our last broadcast.
you. Later, everybody.
Bye.